So what's up, you guys? How's everybody doing today? As you can see from the chaos, the old rear axle, which is this one, is out. The new one is right there, chilling for right now. I got it out, got everything done, didn't have any issues. The issues is I don't have a lift, so that's the main issue. But not a big deal. We will adapt and overcome as always. This just goes to show that the majority of work that you can do to a car, you can do in a driveway. Yes, it would have helped for me to have a lift. It would have helped a lot because all I would have had to do was literally just lift the car away from the axle, not roll the axle away from the car, because I still didn't lift it high enough, even though I thought I did. But, and yes, I know that that brake line looks like it's kind of twisted, so I have to untwist it when I get ready to put it back in. So those are the ABS wires, or wheel speed sensors, whatever you want to call them. I've got both parking brake cables over there. They came out with no problem. That's the Watts link from the car. That's what it's supposed to look like when it's not cut in half. Unfortunately, it is going to have to be replaced because it's all tore to shit. The bushings are no good. This bushing right here in the center, it's actually twisted a little bit, so it's not even straight just from the torsional load that's been on it this whole time. I do have to order, well, I already did, but I do have to buy new upper and lower control arms, or whatever you want to call them. These are the lowers, and they're not in the best of shape. This is the side that was mounted to the frame of the car. This is the side that was mounted to the axle. This side had a lot of deflection in it, because you can see that they're a little dried out. And I could just twist it back and forth. It was really flimsy. This one, as you can see, the sleeve in the center was completely done. That's how I took it out. That's not from me. And then that's the side that was on the car. That's the side that was on the axle. Driver's side is no different. And yes, I have my impact under the wheel stopping it, just because that's what I could grab at the time. This is driver's side, and same thing. This is the side that goes on the axle. You can see that bushing's shot, and I can actually shake it back and forth, and you can see that move around in there, which it's not supposed to do that. That one's even worse. So, needless to say, it's getting pretty much all new rear suspension. Actually, it is getting all new rear suspension. Shocks, springs, control arms, Watts link. The whole rear end of this car is brand fucking new. Wasn't expecting to do all that, but this is what happens when you take a car apart that has never been taken care of. It's neglected. It's just, one thing after fucking another. I've already put oil in the rear end. I said I was going to wait, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's a little bit easier to do it now since it's out of the car, and it's really not going to, I'm nothing, as far as it should go, nothing's really going to happen to where I puncture the back of the diff cover. So, but it does have oil in it. It's been oiled up, ready to go. I did have to reuse this bracket that the parking brake cable goes on top of, because the one off of this axle is broken. It's right there. You can see one of the tabs is broken off, so it's no good. And a way to stay organized for those that don't know and those that aren't sure, don't just leave bolts flying around everywhere. Like, I know what goes where and what's what, because those are caliper bolts right there, but all the other bolts, like for the shocks, sway bar, all that stuff, it's either back on the axle or back on the car. That way it doesn't get lost. So, for example, this is the upper control arm bolt. This is the lower control arm bolt for the frame side of the car. This is the Watts link for the driver's side with the bolt and nut on the axle. Since this is the axle that's going in, which has a fucking plug in the tire, that's lovely. It has the upper control arm bolt and nut back on. Has the lower shock bolt back on. It has the lower control arm bolt back in it. It's got the nut for the Watts link on the stud, and the same thing on the passenger side. That way there's not a lot of bolts flying around. There's not a chance of anything getting lost or kicked or whatever. These are the two rear springs. That's the driver's side. That's the passenger side. That's the driver's side shock. I got the other shock over there in my pile of shit that I need to get rid of, because I know I'll be hearing about it here in a minute. Drive shaft's out. It's just resting right there. I didn't want to take it out because, as most people know, and if you don't, now you're going to know, when you pull the drive shaft out, there's going to be transmission fluid that comes out behind it. So be ready for that. Don't get underneath the car if you're for some reason going to pull the drive shaft out. I was going to do that, but didn't want to risk that and lose transmission fluid, and then didn't want to get on the driveway. So I'm going to keep I also show the tag on the back of the axle that shows what gear ratio is on the axle that was in the car. Let me actually grab a 13. Did I grab it first try? Of course not. And I'm going to have to chase it down the driveway. But I'm going to take the tag off so y'all can see. I probably should put the old one back on this axle so that way whoever buys this knows. So this is the tag that was on this car, and can't really see it, but that says 273 because the 2 is right here, the 73 is right there. That is the 8.8, which tells you what axle it's on, and I think that these are the body code for what vehicle it's going in. I'm not 100% sure, but that goes with this axle, and I should have kept that diff cover because it's in a lot better shape than that one is. And then, like this one, I'll show one more time. You can see there's a 3 right there, which is hard to see, 327s. So it's a lot better of a gear ratio. I'll also link a video from somebody else that explains what a Watts link is over there. I'm trying to hide the Yukon because it's over there, and I got something I wanted to show y'all first before I just go and start, hey, look over there. But anyway, I'll link a video for those that aren't sure what a Watts link is. I'll link that so somebody explains what it does and what it's for. But yeah, so I've already showed all the parts that I'm doing for this. I'm not going to re-show all those parts because I've already showed them. The shocks, the springs. I'll show the part numbers for the control arms just because in the Watts link because I don't have them yet and I have to replace them. But I also checked the U-joint and it's perfectly fine. There's no play, there's no issues. But yeah, so it's just a wait. Let's try this again. I can speak English, I promise. Now it's just a waiting game because I ordered the parts from O'Reilly's because they could get them before 2:30 today, and today's Sunday. So I want to have this car back on the ground and moving around before the end of the day. So that's not really a tall order because I was just taking my time when I did this. So it took me quite a few hours because it's like 11 o'clock now. But I didn't really start right as I got home. So, and it's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. So that's a good thing. The sun's gone in and out. But yeah, so this is what's going on. This is also the perfect time for those that are going to do this. This is a perfect time for if you want to clean stuff, if you want to replace the gas tank, or you want to take it out because there's big ass holes in it. Now's the time to do that. I also ordered the park and brake hardware kit. That's another thing I'll show whenever it gets here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The ABS wires are in good shape. There's nothing damaged. There's nothing wrong with them. It looks like they actually go in the car, and I'm not trying to do all that shit. So that's why I just took them off at the axle, and I can get them out of the way where I'm not going to run over them because I had them draped up here, but they got knocked down on accident. But I didn't run them over. They're not broken, so that's good. So, yeah. Other than that, that's all I got for right now. Hope this helps. I hope, I'll make a video when the car's done, and I'll show, what all the numbers are, what all the bolt sizes are, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do torque specs, because everybody can look that up. The whole torque spec thing is easy to find. Bolt sizes and nut sizes, they're not that hard to find because a lot of people don't put that shit in their videos, which is annoying as hell. So, and also, TRQ or TQI or whoever the hell they are, it's a 1A Auto brand where they install parts that they sell. You don't have to get an alignment with this kind of stuff. There is no way to align the rear. there's no adjustments to be made. This car only gets an alignment done on the front axle or the front suspension only. So I don't know why they said that in that video, because I was watching it too, and there's nothing there. Other people commented the same thing, and they released that video not too long ago. I think it was like a couple months ago. So don't misunderstand. You're not going to need an alignment when you do stuff like this. The Watts link pretty much goes in only one way. The control arms, you can put them in backwards, so make sure you pay attention to what they say. Like the ones on that came from Ford for these cars, you can see that they say front and outboard. So they're fairly easy to put in. You can't fuck them up unless you're just an idiot. So, yeah, that's it. We're in the home stretch, ladies and gentlemen. I say ladies and gentlemen because I don't know who watches my stuff, and those are the only two genders that exist. So that's all I'm saying. But, yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later.